Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So just yesterday, it was in the media, in the news, that the courts officially gave the go-ahead for Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union's stepchild to basically be able to have the gender change and the name change that they have been going back and forth, with the courts and I believe his mother to try and get. Now, this situation has caused controversy since the very first moment. And, there's a saying that I heard some time ago. I can't remember from where, but it goes a little something like this. You can tell what kind of place a society is or isn't, or how far it has fallen, based on how they treat and handle or mishandle their children. And I'll even add the elderly, the, mentally and physically impaired. It says a lot about our community, how we treat certain people, certain individuals. And like I said, especially children. Now, I'm mind boggled as to why we can't all at least get together on one accord and agree that because he's still a child, that this is ridiculous. That they should have waited until he was at least 18 to 21 years old before they made this decision. Just because a child says, I feel like I'm this or I'm that, or I want this or I want that, doesn't mean you should act on it. As a parent, it is your job, your God-given job and duty to make sound, wise, healthy, non-toxic decisions in the stead of your child. I'm not saying that you take advantage of them, that you abuse them or manipulate them or control them. Although as the parent, it's your job to make sure you're making wise decisions on their behalf. They could say, you know what? I want to be a dog today. And you're supposed to tell them that's crazy. You're not a dog. Okay, God didn't make you a dog. You don't bark like a dog. You might be able to imitate one, but you're not one. And you're not going to be one. When they get older or they mature enough to know it was silly of them to ask you to do that, to allow them to do that, or to co-sign that, they're going to thank you for not going along with that, for using wise guidance and counsel to guide them in the right direction. It's your job as a parent to encourage them to be what they're supposed to be, what God made them to be, and to not act on impulses just because they feel a certain way in the moment, because that's all it could have ever been, just a feeling in the moment. And if anybody thinks anything different, let's go back to all the people who have come out whose stories are trying to be suppressed and they're trying to be gaslit into silence. Adults who have come out and said, I wish I wouldn't have done this. I wish I wouldn't have gotten the surgery. I wish I wouldn't have gotten the hormone blockers. Because now everything's screwed up. They feel awful. Some of these people have unalived themselves. And some of these doctors did not tell them, allegedly, all the stuff that could go wrong, all the health problems. There was one guy on the news just recently that was saying that he thinks that his lifespan has been shortened drastically because all of the surgeries and the health problems that have come up because of all that stuff that they were doing to try and switch his gender that the doctors did not tell him about. And of course, they're not going to tell you. The people who are pushing it is not going to tell you because all they want is clout and money. If you don't think these doctors aren't laughing to the bank and at y'all for supporting this, think again, because that's what some of them, all they care about is the money. You want to change genders? Fine. Guess what? They're not going to say much to you. Some of them are probably not going to tell you anything except, okay, yeah, let's do it, because they're getting paid. They have incentives for this. And like I said, it mind boggles me that we can't all get together and say, okay, well, this is a drastic thing to do. And this is a drastic thing for a child to do. You don't think maybe you should have waited until he was a little more mature, that he really understood what was going on and to be able to really decide for himself? That's only the right thing as a parent would do, I made a couple of videos about this concerning these people and the decision that they were making with their child. And I said this before, even in the article that you see, that's linked in the description if you want to read it. They completely left his mother out of this decision. She had been fighting with Dwyane Wade to not have this happen because she didn't want that for her child, which I can't blame her because she's apparently the only commonsensical, wise individual, adult in this situation. But I guess they overruled her or overruled her authority as the biological mother of the child, which was completely wrong. They should have involved both of them. They should have said, well, you know what? If we can't get the consent and the agreement of both individuals, both biological parents, because Gabrielle Union can go somewhere. But if they couldn't get the consent, of both parents, both biological parents, then they should have shut it down and said, then we're just going to wait until, the child is at least 18 or 21 and is at least smart enough or wise enough, understanding enough to know what they're getting themselves into. But instead, they decided to go along with the unwise counsel of his raggedy father and stepmother. I said this in a video before, and I'll say it again. If that were my son, me and Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union would have to have a talk. And by talk, I mean we would have to fight. Because it's not right and it's not fair. Like, I don't care what anybody says. If you've got to go over somebody's parent just to get it done, then that right there tells me that something here is being done wrong. Like, I feel like I said, we should all be able to come together and at least agree on the fact that him being a child doing this is sick and twisted. It's not about inclusion. It's not about, they have the right to do this and his parents are supporting him. It's about adults in the situation are making piss poor decisions on behalf of a child, making bad decisions, unwise decisions that could come back to bite him, not them, in the butt. And for all you people who thinks, he's supporting his son's decision, inclusion, whatever, like he said he wanted to do this and they're respecting him. Like I said, he's a child who doesn't know better for himself. And second of all, for all you people who are supporting this, I don't think y'all understand how wrong this situation can go, especially like I said, if they do go through with this and they do something like hormone blockers and surgeries. I don't think y'all understand how horribly that can clash, especially if he's going through puberty or hasn't gone through puberty yet. The damage physically, emotionally, and psychologically that can do to him. Like, if it's wreaked havoc on adults, like I said, who have come forward and say these people did not care about what could have happened to me, that they just pushed this agenda and agreed with me and didn't use any kind of wisdom and tell me what could have happened. If it has affected adults to the point where some of them wanted to unalive themselves, what do y'all think could happen to a child? For all of you people who think this is okay and want to drag people and mock people for saying anything against it, especially because there's a child involved, for all you people who are supporting this, I want y'all to keep some things in mind. When he gets 18, 21, over 21, whatever, there could be a point in his life where he realizes this is not actually something that he wanted, that whatever he was feeling, whatever he was going through, it was only temporary. And you never make permanent decisions based on temporary feelings or temporary situations. But he would need wise parents and adults in his life, in his community, that's helping him make the right decisions based on those said temporary feelings. Not telling him and encouraging him to do crazy things and make drastic changes to himself, to his body, to his name, just because he felt a certain kind of way, or like I said, whatever he was experiencing. He would need wise adults to help him make those kinds of decisions and guide him in the right way, which he clearly doesn't have. And my second point for all you people that think nothing is wrong with this and that he's fine and that you should support this change, God forbid anything happens to him, or when he, like I said, gets 20 or 21 and he understands what's going on, that he's now wise enough to make his own decisions and he realizes like that this messed me up, that all these changes to his premature body messed him over and screwed him over. He's going to look around at all the adults who supported this decision. The adults, the random people on the internet, his parents, his father. Well, I'm not going to say his parents because it wasn't all of his parents. His father, his stepmother. Why all these adults who were supposed to be the smart ones, the wise ones, and showing him what to do and not to do, encouraged him to go through with that? It's going to be all fun and games until he gets older and he realizes what y'all really done and he's heartbroken and he gets on the internet and asks y'all why y'all encouraged him to go through with these decisions. So just think about that while y'all are encouraging this stuff. Think about what if this goes morbidly wrong? You're one of the people who were the first in line to encourage him to go through with it. You know how heartbreaking that is? Like I said, for the adults who went through this. And now they're going through hell now and they're trying to understand why you people encourage this, knowing, or maybe you didn't know, but still all you had to do was be wise about it. Not act so impulsively on temporary issues. But why y'all would encourage these people to do this, knowing what could happen? That's selfish. And like I said, unwise, if you ask me. And y'all are partially responsible. Anything that happens to that child, all of y'all are responsible. His stepmother, his father, you people who are encouraging this, all of y'all are going to be responsible if something happens to that child. Y'all keep that in mind. Now, Dwyane Wade, I guess the other day, just yesterday, went to Instagram and posted some whack, lame statement about, all the allegations and what people have been saying since this news hit the media, talking about that he's entering in a new, type of parenting, which is stupid because there's no new form of parenting. There's always been only one form of parenting, one kind of parenting to do, and all the other, quote, forms are just dysfunctional mess. But he said that he's entering in this new form of parenting. A lot of people have stuff to say that's negative, and that his mother isn't accepting the change, which if I was her, I wouldn't either, because I didn't co-sign on that. She didn't want that for her child, and she has a right to not want that for her child. Like, I'm not one of the kind of people that would say, oh, his mother should get all the say just because she birthed him. I believe in both parents having a say in what happens to the child, but he excluded her from that. So I don't understand where he comes with this audacity saying that she doesn't, want to accept his change or whatever, or he's not going to wait for her to call him like her, or, use the right pronouns or whatever. I don't understand where the audacity he got that from when it was never her decision for their child to do that in the first place. And he basically excluded her from that decision when he went above her into the courts, which I'll say allegedly, but I believe that they gave him just because he was a celebrity. He was married to a celebrity, and because he's a basketball player. They said forget the biological mother because she's not some famous person like him and Gabrielle Union, and that's why they let this happen. And because everybody's getting clout or money out of this. I don't care, people can say, oh, well, he's not doing it to get clout from his child or, the endorsements. But either way it goes, they're still going to get clout, money, and endorsements. So whatever the intentions were, it still doesn't matter. That's why I said wisdom has to be involved in making these decisions. But I don't understand where he gets the audacity from to even say that about the mother of his child when it wasn't even her decision for this to happen to begin with. So no, I don't blame her. And no, I don't think it's, not right for her to say, I'm not going along with this. She has every right to do that. She has every right to feel that way if that's not what she wanted for her child. And like I said, they went over her in order to do it anyways. They all excluded her. If you ask me, they failed her and they failed that child. Like I said before, when they took this to the courts, whenever the judges, the lawyers, whoever saw that the father and the biological father and the biological mother were not on the same page, they should have said, we're not doing anything until he's old enough to know what he's doing, to understand what he's doing, and to make that decision on his own. Everybody should have at least been able to agree on that, because what's the rush? Why couldn't they have waited? Why did he need to make him go through with this as a child? Like, there was no reason for him to say, well, if my child wants this, he can have it right now. Like, what was wrong with him just waiting if that's the case? That's why this is all so shady to me, and I look at it with a side eye. And like I said before on this channel, anybody who's been following me for any amount of time knows that I do not play when it comes to kids. And when people mishandle children, y'all gonna have to hear what I have to say about it. And then to top it off, allegedly, Gabrielle Union was trying to make some kind of phony statement talking about black trans people are under attack. No, we just want you to stop messing with the kids. We want you to stop pushing this agenda on children because that's predatory and disgusting. And we want you to stop deceiving people. Like, if you're going to tell them, oh, yeah, you can get like this surgery or whatever and do hormone blockers, tell them the entire truth. Things might go haywire. Things might go wrong. It might not agree with your physiology. Things could go morbidly wrong. Tell them the truth, nothing but the truth. Tell them the good, the bad, and the heinous. Stop deceiving people also you can push this agenda. But anyways, if anything I said offended you, guess what? I don't care. I don't, like I said, I don't back down when it comes to these kids. And if you can't see that, if we can't at least agree with this shouldn't be happening to a child, something is wrong with you. Not everybody else is saying something about it. But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think and how y'all feel down in the comments below, respectfully. All right. Y'all don't forget to like and subscribe, and y'all have a good day.